Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I would like to present about a topic that we choose in our project, which is we choose a lunchbox. So today, me and my groups want to present about it. Before we start, I would like to say thank you to our lecturer, which is Dr. Rushani, because help us to complete our task. And we are group 1 from RAS 120 2D. Before we start, I would like to introduce me and my groups. Right. At the left side, Muhammad Amar Hakimi bin Muhammad Zaini, a leader, Muhammad Haimat Sakawi bin Hairul Sulaiman. At the right side, me, Muhammad Ismail Hakim bin Makbison. Alright, a table of content in this video is, we start with introduction, need, approach, and benefits. Okay. What is lunchbox? Basically, lunchbox is a container that used to store food and maintain its temperature for a long time. Usually, lunchbox can maintain the temperature about for 4 to 5 hours. In the lunchbox, thermodynamic process is applied in this situation, which is exothermic process. And what is exothermic process? Exothermic process is when heat from the food is released to the surrounding, so that can be a problem to the lunchbox, because basic lunchbox will allow easier heat transfer, which is from the food to the surrounding, and make the food cold immediately. Not immediately, but not for long. Alright, I will pass the slide to my another groupmate.
Thank you, Ismail. My name is Muhammad Haimat Sakawi bin Hairul Sulaiman, and I will be taking over from him. For the next slide, I will be explaining about the concept of need in entrepreneurship. For need is a few criteria, one of which is what key need will our group met in our product. So our product, which is the lunchbox, the key need that we want to meet are temperature, size, and durability. For temperature, the reason we want to meet this need is to ensure the food stay warm for a long time. This is paramount, especially when for worker or student that prepare their food early in the morning and they want to eat during lunch. This to make sure their food stay warm for a very long time. The second need, the size, is to make sure the food is easier to carry and for no additional container needed to carry the food. For the third key is the durability. Durability is to first to prevent leaking of the container due to damage, and second is to ensure that the container can be used for a very long time without needing to buy a new one. For second criteria of need is whose key needs specifically, meaning who's our consumer or client. For our product, our consumer are three type of group. The first one is student. Students prepare food from home to save money and to monitor their food intakes. Food prepared in the morning will be eaten by them during lunch around 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. Student does not have easy access to microwaves or other heating appliances. So for this type of our client, our need to improve both in the aspect of temperature as well as size, because they usually since they want to control their food intake, they usually want to have a very fulfilling food container to bring by them to the school. Our second group is our worker. Worker bring food to save time and to save money. Workers do not need to go out to visit the nearest restaurant for lunch. Workers may have access to a microwave in their break room. This is especially important for like workers that work long hours. As example, maybe they work from early in the morning, late to night. Having them able to bring their own food from home can help them save money and save time, so they do not have to go out to eat in a restaurant or to control their budget. And the last group is our parents. Parents use lunch boxes to prepare food for their family either at school or work. Parents use food containers to store food for outdoor activity, and parents can actively control the safety and healthiness of the food their family are eating. Now for the third criteria is how often do people experience this problem and when. Now when talking about lunch boxes, there are three problems that people usually associated with it. The first one is the food gets cold. In basic term, is the problem with temperature. A regular lunch boxes may not be effectively able to maintain the food temperature for a very long time, causing when people want to eat their lunch, the food they got is very cold. This could pose a problem when they do not have easy access to heating appliances like microwaves or a cooker. For the second problem is inadequate sizes. The size of lunch boxes which is not satisfactory will cause the user not to be able to store a lot of food in it. This is true especially for us because we usually have multiple parts for our lunch, like rice, curry, chicken, etc. Meaning we need a lot of compartments to store them. The normal lunch boxes usually only have one compartment, which could be challenging for some. Now moving to the third problem is leaking of food from container. For low quality food container are prone to breaking and damage. This can lead to issues like leaks sealing property or hinge breaking. These issues are usually noticeable when we try to transport this food container from our home to our work or other area or other places to eat. User when it's time to eat will notice that their food container have leaking on their lid and will result in their bag getting dirty, which can get annoying to clean. And now moving to the fourth criteria is how big the problem for user or customer. Now for this section, we have identified three problems for our customer. The first one is a waste of time. User have to reheat their food before dining. Sometimes user does not have access to a microwave or other heating appliance. This is mainly true for both worker and student because they do not have a lot of time allocated for them for break and lunch, usually around 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So meaning that they need to have a way to eat quickly, but since the food now have gotten cold, now they have to heat it. For workers, they may have access to a microwave in their break room, but for students, they do not have any access to a heating appliance to heat up their food. Now for the second problem is waste of money. For this, user have to buy more container to carry more food with them. Like I said earlier, we usually do not have a lot of portion of food to eat. So since most container usually have only one compartment, this means that we have to buy more container to bring more food. Second is that most container have short durability, resulting in frequent maintenance and replacement. For third problem is health and safety issue. Cold food from the container can cause our user to get food poisoning, as the cold food will spoil much quicker. Secondly, leakage from the container could cause hot liquid to injure our user when they want to open the container or carry them around. last criteria or for the need section is what will happen if that need is not met. For this, we have outlined 4 scenarios. The first one, the user of the lunchbox would face many problems such as leakage and they have to paste the lunchbox to another like plastic. The second scenario is that user also can easily get sick because the food they have been eating has been exposed. Third, the user cannot enjoy their food because the food has become moist due to the lunchbox not being able to maintain its temperature. The fourth and last scenario is that the user will have to waste a lot of money and time just to want to enjoy eating their food while using a lunchbox. Now I will be passing the next slide to my colleague.
Alright, so thank you Haiman for the need section. Now I will be take over for the next presentation about the approach section. As we can see in the slide, what is your unique approach to meeting this need? So basically, this is to avoid problems such as a food getting cold and spilling because the food container is not properly closed and is difficult to transport. A countermeasure must be implemented. Alright, in the first one, we will be using the stainless steel to keep the food warm because the stainless steel is more better than the others compartment. The next one is we also look into the choose model which non-leaking container. As we know, students nowadays are very important about the model because the leaking one. So we want to innovation the new compartment of the lunchbox for a better than that is not being leaking anywhere. Alright, the last one is make several lunchbox size. As we know, student nowadays was very important about the size of the lunchbox because they want to put so many foods in there. Alright, for the next slide is what is your solution broadly speaking. In this case, there are, as we show in the slide, there will be 2 types that we will innovation. That is mini solar panel and also the USB socket. Alright, let me talk about the mini solar panel. Why we using the mini solar panel? Because we use the solar power as a main power source. That's why it is easy to take anywhere without finding place to charge it, and also solar energy is harmless to user. And alright, so as we know, solar can save our money because we just use the solar by the sun and not being using the battery. Alright, so the next one is USB socket. We also use a USB wire socket as a second source of the energy. So user can use which power bank, then the energy transfer can maintain and control the temperature to refresh the food again. So the food will be warm and can eat with happily. Alright, for the next slide is we want to show you about our innovation of the prototype in the lunchbox. So as we can see, in the top of the lunchbox we will put the mini panel solar and also behind of the panel solar we put the warm button to make sure the food in the lunchbox will be controlled about the temperature, will be maintained to refresh the food again. So in this our lunchbox, they have 2 compartments on there. This is in the top and also the bottom. In the top we put the 3 compartment and 3 section. So that's why we put the many compartment because we want student can put many food on there. Right, for the next slide is, do you have any technical issue to solve? As we know, the technical issue in this our presentation, we just find the 3. There is the first one is low quality insulation, the second one is easily stain, and also the leakage. Alright, let's move to the first issue, that is low quality insulation. So this our lunchbox look for the offer a good insulation and vacuum insulation. This is because to help in maintain food temperature for a long time, which is more than 5 to 6 hours. Alright, for the next issue is easily stain. So we will solve to use stain resistant materials such as plastic fabric like vinyl, nylon or polystyrene. But we want to use the stainless steel to avoid this. This is because they're hard to stain and can be easily cleaned. Alright, for the last one is the leakage. As we know, student want the good container, which is the lunchbox, to a good not be in leaking. So we use leak-proof seal or leak made from the silicone, and this is to provide a proper sealant to avoid food spill. So that is about the approach section. Now I will be passed for the next slide.
So thank you, we meet again. So we continue with our slide. Many benefits that we can get by using a lunchbox. First, we can maintain temperature for a long time, which is either it's a hot or cold food. Second, keep the food fresh, and of course the lunchbox is portability that can save our money to get a new one. Fourth, the lunchbox is durability, and lastly, the important thing is the lunchbox is environmentally friendly. Wow, we're at the end of our video presentation. I hope our video presentation is successful, and that's all for now. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.